Hello and welcome back. Sorry for the delay. It's been a bit hectic here, stuff in the studio, and we've got lots of shows on. And that's what spurred this video. Trying to find the gear for a show, I came across a box. And inside the box were some things that I was convinced I'd actually reviewed, that I'd received a while back. I can't find the video. It's one of the things about getting old, I guess, is I've got a vivid recollection of making a video and I can't find it. So when I looked inside the box, I thought, I've got to do this because this is really nice. What is it? Well, it's a microphone kit, 2 condensers, but oddly, it also comes with omni and supercardioid capsules. I'll show you what's inside it. So that's what you get in the kit. Now, basically, couple of microphones, a couple of clips. There's an omni and a super capsule, another omni and super capsule, a couple of foam windshields, and that's it. Now, the stupid thing about this is the branding. Well, we're quite used to microphones of this type sort of having, fake names and stuff on. Well, this doesn't have. Although I suspect the, like those chunk things we had a while back, the choice of name on here probably lost something in the translation. Nice looking microphone. Happy Music. It's actually a thing called a CM2, which presumably is condenser microphone number 2. Satisfyingly heavy. Seems to be made pretty well. Capsule on the end. The one that's on here at the moment is actually the super capsule. If I unscrew it, pretty normal arrangement. I've done some photos so you can see close in, but spring-loaded centre pin and a bronzy coloured metal. Now I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's an alloy of some sort, but it is reassuringly heavy. Apart from Happy Music, and I guess you could easily cover that up with a bit of tape, couldn't you? Or probably if you scratched it, it might even come off. But it's a nice looking microphone. The clips are pretty decent. They're actually quite solid. They're not particularly bendy clips. The microphone will clip in. You snap it in. And they do the job. They're pretty secure. Comes out reasonably easily. There's no chance of the microphone falling out. So in terms of construction, yep, really nice, decent clips. And of course you do get the benefit of having a couple of extra capsules. So each microphone comes with this one. This one's the cardioid version. I mean, you can see the only real difference between those two is 2 slots on the supercardioid, 3 slots on the cardioid. That's pretty much it. And of course, if you look at the omni version, well, the omni version has got 1 slot. So there's a pretty easy way of telling your way around these things. I suppose we just need to plug them in and compare them. Well, I mean, we're listening on the SM7B, so let me get a mic stand out and I'll pop one of these up and you can have a listen, make your own mind up. It cost me 75 quid for the 2. I looked it up this morning. £75 for 2. And for that 75 quid, you actually get, a pretty decent stereo set and one that you can fiddle about with different patterns on. So, I mean, if you're into sort of live recording and, my sort of stuff, which is more classical, orchestral, that sort of choirs, well, you've got plenty of options with these capsules. You could do A-B. It's a technique that's actually dying out a bit now. I don't see many people using it, but you can do A-B spaced with the omnis. That'd be quite nice. All in all, it's quite a nice kit. So let's have a listen, see what it sounds like. We're on the SM7B Dynamic at the moment, the one we always use. And I figured that instead of actually going straight to the cardioid, we'd start on the omni. Nobody talks about omnis now, so let's go across to this omni. So now we're on the CM2 omni capsule. Now, I mean, from where I'm sitting here, the microphone is that distance away, and it looks to me very similar. Can you hear that noise? Don't know if you heard that. That's actually coming from that direction, because I've left the door open, and that's the office, which is at the rear of this building, and that's the train going past. That's the level crossing beepers. In here, normally with the cardioid microphone, occasionally you hear the noise of the fans on the computer, which sits underneath this desk. And that was a train through an open window, an open door. Interesting. So what normally happens is cardioids mask a bit of the noise in the studio space here. The Omni, of course, doesn't. It hears in front and it hears behind just as well. The mic is very similar in diameter to the AKG 451. I've got some of those I've had for years, and I like those mics. And from the front, the actual thing is very similar sized, but the tube is longer. So the CM2 is a fairly long microphone, even with these, fairly standard sized capsules on the front. So we're doing Omni. So let's now revert to an ordinary cardioid. We'll go, to the next narrower capsule. Now, unlike my AKG 451s, which use a really, really fine and delicate thread, this thread is much better. It's not big and chunky. It's not sort of, like tank style threads. It's just a nice, solid, feels solid and reliable thread. I don't think there's much chance of cross-threading these. And of course, on AKG 451s, you could wreck the microphone by easily cross-threading the capsule when you did a change, especially in a hurry. So, I don't know, we're on the CM2 with the cardioid capsule. Now, in real terms, let's just try a little bit of off-mic stuff. Let's go back to the SM7B. Let me switch the other camera and then you'll see what we can do. If I'm talking to the SM7B and I come across here, I can get right away across here. And then if I come back to straight in front of the microphone, that's how the cardioid's SM7B manages it. So let's do the same thing with the cardioid on the CM2. So we're going across the side, and I've now come over here, and now we're going to go back to the middle. So, that's the sort of amount of leeway that you've got to work in. So what should we do now? Well, I think the next step is to swap out the cardioid for the supercardioid. So let me do that. So there we go. Now this is the supercardioid version. So a tighter pattern. Should we do that test again where we move to one side? That might help. At least you hear the sort of difference between the two. Here we go. So let's, on the SM7B, do it again. We'll come right over here. I'll lean across to this side of the frame and I'll go back to the middle. Switch to the CM2 on its supercardioid capsule and we'll do the same thing. I'll move over here, move out to the side of the frame and then move back to the centre, and then we're back on the centre position. So what do you think? Well, I often hedge my bets because I know that lots of you out there love certain things and hate other things, and very often there's about 50% of you agreeing and disagreeing with me. But on this one, I really like it, and I especially like the Omni. That Omni is really nice. I think it sounds sort of... I could use it instead of that SM7B if I was pushed. It doesn't seem to have any bad traits that I can really find at all. It's clean, it's crisp, it's clear. It doesn't seem to sort of suffer from any of the weirdnesses that some cheaper mics do. And I quite like it. Now, clearly, lots of other people will love the sort of silky, smooth tone of a SM7B. But I'm not particularly glued to the SM7B. I've started to use it basically as a reference mic. I think through choice I would probably use something else. But it sounds like me, and that's the important thing. This CM2 sounds like me too. So, yeah, I like it. Do I need it? Well, no, I've got other things that do the same thing. You know, as I said, I've got these 451s if I want interchangeable capsules and a small mic. But for the money, this is not bad at all. Anyway, we've got a load of videos coming up that I've got planned. As soon as I get some time, we'll have a look at those. In the meantime, you all look after yourselves, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.